Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into a book that's going to make you question everything you thought you knew about success and failure. It suggests there's a hidden biological game being played all around us, every single day.
You ever had that feeling like you're playing a game, but you don't actually know the rules and no one will tell you what they are? Well, let's start with a little puzzle about a man who, by all accounts, should have been a celebrated hero, but somehow he was just overlooked. His story is the perfect way to understand the core idea we're talking about today.
The author of our source material, J.T. Ingram, actually gives this phenomenon a name. He calls it the Burra effect. Yep, that's B-E-R-R-A, pronounced just like the legendary baseball catcher Yogi Berra. It's this weird, frustrating reality where incredible accomplishment and value just don't get the credit they deserve.
And here's why he named it after him. So get this, back in 2015, baseball fans voted on the greatest living players. 4 guys were chosen. Now, Yogi Berra, who was very much alive at the time, had won more World Series championships than all 4 of those winners combined. And yet, he was completely left off the list. I mean, how does that even happen? It's baffling, right? And it's a perfect example of this hidden dynamic at play.
And that is the exact question that sent author J.T. Ingram down a rabbit hole. He wanted to uncover what he calls a dirty little secret that our society just enables, this invisible force that seems to decide who gets the spotlight and who gets stuck in the shadows. So who is this guy doing all this investigating? Well, J.T. Ingram isn't some professor in an ivory tower. He actually describes himself as a runt, and it was his own personal and professional struggles that led him to this startling discovery about why some people seem, for lack of a better word, born to fail. In this quote from the book's foreword, really hits on what makes it so unique. Think about it. Most self-help books tell you, hey, if you're failing, it's on you. Just try harder. This book doesn't do that. Ingram set out to finally put a name to a problem that he believes society just refuses to see. Which brings us to his pretty radical theory, the animal kingdom within. So after looking into everything from history to quantum physics, he found his most profound answers in a really surprising place. The zoo, or, more accurately, the basic laws of the animal kingdom.
Okay, so let's dive into the core idea here, and it's a wild one. Ingram's theory is that human society, deep down, operates just like an animal pack. You've got your predetermined alphas, and you've got your underdogs. He argues some of us are unconsciously assigned the role of runt from birth, and it has almost nothing to do with our actual talents or abilities.
Now, this is absolutely crucial to understand. Ingram separates this biological rank he's talking about from things like race, gender, or your economic background. He's saying it's a different, deeper game being played underneath all of that. You can see how it plays out. The alpha is seen as a born leader, and their contributions get amplified. The underdog, they become invisible, and their contributions are constantly overlooked. Okay, I know what you might be thinking. This sounds a little out there, right? Are we really just a bunch of animals? Well, Ingram points to some seriously compelling and, frankly, shocking research from the animal kingdom to back all this up. Let's look at a few of them.
First up, a famous study on baboons by Dr. Robert Sapolsky, and what he found was incredible. There's a direct, measurable link between social rank and chronic stress. As you can see, the alpha male had very low stress hormones. He was cool as a cucumber. But the lowest-ranking baboon just flooded with them. Your place in the pecking order literally changes your body's chemistry. And Ingram asks, why would humans be any different?
Or let's think about a litter of puppies. Their place in the pack gets determined almost immediately through these little tests of dominance. And here's the kicker. Once that rank is set, the entire pack, both the leaders and the followers, works to keep everyone in their designated place for life.
And this next study is wild because it brings this idea right into human biology. In this experiment, people did something scary, like skydiving. Then scientists collected their sweaty shirts. A totally different group of people were then asked to smell those fear-soaked shirts. And get this, they had a measurable biological stress reaction just from the smell of fear alone. It suggests we might be picking up on these subconscious biological cues about weakness and status all the time.
So, if we're all living in this biological caste system, what on earth is a person supposed to do about it? Start acting like an animal to get ahead?
Ingram is super clear on this. No, the goal is not to act like an animal. The goal is to stop being treated like one. And he says the first and most important step is simply awareness. Just knowing that this dynamic exists is the beginning of empowerment.
I mean, as Ingram puts it so perfectly, how can we find an answer when we don't even know the question? By understanding this hidden dynamic, you can finally see the elephant in the room that dictates so much of our social lives. You can finally stop asking, "What's wrong with me?" and start asking the right questions.
So let's boil it all down. The key thing to take away here is that this isn't about blame or saying you're doomed. It's about realizing that success might have a biological piece we never talk about, and that this rank is often totally separate from talent or hard work. Just recognizing this unspoken social game is the first real step to taking your power back. It's a challenge to look past all the typical success formulas we've been fed.
And with that awareness, you can finally start making conscious choices instead of just reacting to these invisible cues all the time. You get to decide. Do you accept the role society seems to have assigned you? Or do you start the difficult work of fighting it?
The book is really a call to question the whole system. But it leaves us with this final provocative thought. Ingram warns that for those who dare to bark more and wag less, things can get ugly. The pack doesn't like it when you tamper with the social matrix. So it makes you wonder, what happens when the underdogs finally decide to bark back?